Hello everyone, this is Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com, and today I wanted to touch on the Ford Kavanaugh allegations. And I've received a lot on this, and to be honest, I was a little hesitant in doing a reading because I know the censorship overlords are looming over. However, I feel it's so important to speak the truth, and ever since I looked at this case and I've seen little bits on TV like most of us have, it's almost haunted me like an OCD because as I see things and they hit my conscious, rational, in my face, state of being, I guess. I also have this intuitive filter going on. I have things coming to me clairaudiently. I see things, and it's really had kind of an effect on me to where I feel compelled to share what I have. And I know several of you out there that have asked me about it are also curious. So this morning I did just a brief reading. I know there's still more to come with this case. I did it briefly because, like I said, I know I'm being filtered and censored and all of those good things. I feel as though I can talk a little more freely on a video. It's not as maybe scrutinized. I mean, it is, but maybe not to the extent of what your written word is. It's not as easy for a web bot to go out and look for a key phrase or a key word. So, having said that, and just really thinking about this case, I felt like I needed to go into it. So, enough of that. The question itself, and I just took one of the few that I've gotten here. It says, please take a look at Brett Kavanaugh allegations. What is the truth? That's pretty much what everybody wants to know. And when I first thought about this, when I tried to clear my mind and calm myself down, I got an image of a circus, and it was as if all these committee members were just playing a role, and it looked like it was this back and forth, and we're the audience and we're watching all of this play out, and so they're up on stage, we're watching it, and it just felt symbolic as to what is really going on in reality. And so when I look at her, when I look at Ford, there was a point in her high school years, just like with Brett, that they drank, they hung out with friends, they had parties, they, went to social gatherings, all these type of things. And she, no judgment, because that's just what they did. The legal drinking age was 18. I get that. I'm not trying to criticize. I'm just stating what I'm getting. She partook in it just the same as what he did. And I get that she did have a moment where she endured trauma. I do see that she had an encounter where she was very scared. She didn't, it was like she woke up from a bad dream. When she woke up from it, she remembered being somewhere, not completely clear where, just remembered certain hazy elements of it, maybe remembered some hazy memories of whose voices she might have heard, had this very scary moment where she legitimately felt that she was going to be harmed in a major way, and that stuck with her. But I get that Brett was not the one that did that, or that he was even there. In fact, when I tuned in on him, I saw him, it was almost like I was watching a movie, and how they were doing like a side-by-side comparison. And it showed her having this experience that was very traumatic and very real. I do not want to take away from that. He was nowhere near there. He was somewhere else at the same coinciding time, and I saw like a banjo or a guitar. I could hear playing of instruments going on. So he was completely removed from that situation somewhere else, and having that experience at the moment she was having her experience. And I also got that he wants to have his name cleared because he legitimately didn't do it. And the committee, they keep wanting to throw in this FBI investigation. And he keeps replying, I'll do what you think is best. But he knows as well as what we know, and even what the committee knows. The FBI will do a he said, she said, and type of report, but they don't really get to the bottom line. He's wanting to get to the bottom line and clear his name because he really did not do it. And so the real agenda to that portion of what is happening looks to me that they're trying to deflect, procrastinate, and drag this on and pose doubt because they are hoping to get past the midterm elections, and they are worried that if Kavanaugh gets into the Supreme Court, that he will look at with, I wouldn't say scrutiny, but apply the Constitution and interpret it and follow it. And they're worried that they won't have the, I guess, influence over him because he is very by the book of Roe v. Wade. They're worried about that issue, and they're worried about the Second Amendment. And that's why when they were originally questioning him, they asked him so many questions about his opinion, and he reiterated, it's not my opinion, you have to go from the Constitution. So the I guess most liberal Democrats, it looks like what they did was they took this woman who had this traumatic experience, who had a lot of holes in her memory, however, wants to heal. She wants to move past this, and she wants to move past the trauma of what happened to her. Part of doing so is being able to fill those blanks in. She wants to be able to complete the story as part of her element of forgiveness and to let it go. Some people, they may endure something, never really find the answer, and they work on the forgiveness factor. But for her, it's really stuck with her, and that feels like an important part of it, is to be able to complete her story, to be able to heal. So what they have done was basically found this person who went through this very traumatic incident when she was in high school, planted seeds of what picture they wanted to paint, and then brought about a sex scandal to attack Kavanaugh. So when I look at this, I see her as a victim, and my heart really goes out to her. I felt nothing but compassion, and she pled her case very sincerely because from her emotionally, she lived through this. It was just the added details of him that didn't really happen. It was like that was planted in her mind to be able to complete her story so she can get past all this and start to forgive, start to heal, and move on with her life. From his perspective, he's very much a victim in this too. He is a victim of this liberal, alt-left, I don't know if I want to say it's like a group, but their agenda to postpone, deflect, put up a big smoke screen just to try to wait past the midterms and get someone that's more ideal that they can influence, get Roe v. Wade to solidify that, to try to take away some of our First Amendment rights. If you disagree with an opinion, it's automatically hate speech. We got to get rid of the Second Amendment because there's, it was outdated. Like all these ideals they want to push through, and Kavanaugh's not the man to do it. So what do? You throw up a big scandal, and basically this man's life, he's living in a nightmare. And so he's very much a victim of all of this too. It is just such a very sad, horrible situation. And then, that takes me back to the beginning. It is like a circus, and they're putting this on in front of people. And all we can do is hope that people out there, yes, have compassion to her, because this has been very horrible, but he deserves compassion too, because this has been a nightmare for him as well. And the media, we're supposed to have this due process, but right now it's just a process. It's just someone makes an allegation and then they assume that this man is guilty, when in reality you need to hear both sides. And when you do, allow that intuitive filter to flow and see what feels right to you, because like I said, she's very genuine and compassionate because she endured something terrible, but he's going through something equally as terrible and being convicted, by so many media outlets out there for something he did not do. And what I'm able to see, what I'm able to pick up intuitively, clairaudiently, and clairvoyantly, I do not see that this man did this. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to leave a comment. If you like me, like it, subscribe, share, do all those things. It helps me out so much. And if you'd like to take a second and look at my Patreon account or my Patreon channel, I would appreciate that as well. So again, this is Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.